There's a problem. Apparently, that broke temporarily or something. But now it's fixed. Okay. Alright, time to get back to work on some systems. Right now, Coyote time is broken. The frame data manager has quite a lot scripts to go through, as well as the attack manager, which I should remember exists. Okay, so let's focus over attention over here for its like filter methods. So the attack manager has add new attack, clear all attacks, attack management. There's a process which, okay, so this just doesn't work yet because it's not really done. Frame data manager, that's the next thing. So it has ready, which that might not actually need that. Okay. Add new frame, rename all frames. Let's rearrange those. Let's move these as well. Gosh darn it, did not take the color. Why? Okay. Switch the spacing. The next frame function I don't think will be here. Once I thought, no, it would be there. Okay. Export stuff. Alright. Okay. So that does that. Frame. Add new hitbox, new hitbox, rename all boxes, clear all frames. Let's move these buttons around. Okay. So, plugin. Add, clear, rename, and set name. Set enable. I also think at some point we're going to need to do a code review to make sure everything works properly and is documented well. Because right now there's not really much documentation. Okay, so what is this the purpose of this set enable function that we're trying to make? We are currently in the frame portion of the frame data manager. The frame has the children's of areas 2Ds, which are either hurt boxes or hit boxes, and under those there are children that are collision shapes. Now, the thing that I want to do is enable and disable the hitboxes and or hurtboxes. There are a few probable ways to do that. One, we can change the collision layers. Or two, we can change the enable or disable of the collision shape. Object.set deferred? Can that be called here? underscore deferred. What the heck is this? Let me read what this function is. Okay. Okay. Let's see these set functions. So set just sets the value. We go to the top, see what we're in. We are in object. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So get signals, set block signals, set deferred, set index, set message translation, set meta, set script, set translation domain. Okay, so let's go to set. Assigns value to the given property. The property does not exist, or the value type does not match. Nothing happens. Set block signals. Is set to true, the object becomes unable to emit signals such as emit signal. Set deferred. At the end of the frame, equivalent to the following set through call deferred. Set indexed assigns a new value to the property identified by property path. Path should be a node path relative to this object and can be used to access nested properties. Okay. This is true allows the object to translate messages with TR and TRN by default. See translate messages. Set meta. Set the metadata. Set scripts. Set translation domain. Okay. So set deferred is a different thing. We want to set enable. What we want to do from here, since we are in the frame technically, we want to for child in for boxes in hits underscore children colon and then 4 again, because that would get us all the hit boxes for boxes. It would not get us the collision shapes, and we want the collision shapes. So for child underscore in hits underscore children. Okay. Tab if child. Let's change this from child to shape. No. Collision shape. Okay, so shape then. If shape is collision shape 2D colon. This thing's a colon. I'll have to see if we need to set enable and disable that. I mean, they can be the same function. Shape dot disabled equals value. Okay, I'm gonna set type this as set disabled because that's what the property is called. Set frame disabled. a set frame disabled. Okay. Okay. So, um, we can have an onReady function. Underscore ready, and then just call set underscore frame disabled set to true. Which, now that I think about it, I don't even think that's gonna happen. Let me check ready. Calls called when the node is ready, i.e. when both the node and its children have entered the C tree. If the node has children, they're ready. Callbacks get triggered first, and the parent node will receive the ready notification afterwards. Okay, yeah, that works then. Okay, so all frames should be by default set to disabled when the function is created. When we add a hitbox, let me also set that to disabled stuff as well. Probably here too, because those are essentially the same function, but one's a hitbox, one's a hurtbox. I'm gonna make these like the same. They could be the same function, but there's a misstatement that's like this thing is this thing is that. I don't. Keep that separate for now. We will do optimizations later. Okay. So we now have the ability to enable and disable the frame from here. So the frame data manager should be calling that function. So right now we have add frame, clear frame, rename frames, start attacks, and then next frame. Okay. So start attack, var count, var for children, for child and get children. If child is frame, count equals 1 plus 1. Okay, that frame isn't somewhere else. Okay, so let me just start calling this thing just to see what we get when it's just there. Into nil operators. Count doesn't have a type, so let's give it a type. That save? No. Error stopped, I think. I'm not printing anything. Okay, just to see what it is. Hold up, why is it 2? frame data manager. That would make sense. Which is frames. So 2 frames. Yep, that makes sense. Frame 0, frame 1. Should it be named frame 0 or frame 1? Gosh darn it. Okay. Frame 1. Save. Click the fix names button. Hold up. Why the hell did you do that? Pressing the wrong thing. Fix names. Okay. Interesting. One node is moved in front of the other, then the thing will see that its children are already in order. I could call sort first, but returns void. Okay, we have that now for testing this. See if this works. No. Okay, I think I have something else somewhere for that, but we'll do the review later. Okay, so the start attack and the frames thing is working properly. Okay, we count attack, and then after we start attack, if attack is credited or something, do I want to add a beam into there? Probably. Um, would it be here or would it be one layer up? The frame data manager should probably take it. It's a frame data manager. Maybe. Okay. Specification. Oh, just separates it. Okay. Var underscore hacking equals false as the default value. Okay. And then start attack is attacking equals true. Let's try to combine the theoretical process. So It shouldn't be called start attack if it's not just starting attacking. Suppose attack if uh, is attacking equals false. This first bit should start the attack. Okay, first off, we're counting, regardless. We only need to count once, so where do we? Uh, okay. If we're not attacking, count the frames. This is probably going to have to be another variable. And let's rename it to number of frames. Since I can't do it in the already, it's got to be done somewhere else. Hold child, and get children on the child. No, sorry, ignore this. Ignore that. Right, attack. Is attacking in the number of frames. The number of frames, but get children can be called already, which is kind of annoying. Uh, no problem here. What do you mean get stack? Returns an array of dictionaries representing the print call stack, see also print stack. What? Scholar. Oh, if you try type children, it doesn't come up, so you can't use that there. Okay. The frame data manager can now attack. What is the attack function currently? Currently doing is just counting the number of frames. Okay. So if we are attacking, so else on put a pass to deal with the error for now. If it's attacking, attack is going to be called every frame theoretically. Now that I think about it, this has to be in its own thing. Because for some reason the tool script portion only works on a physics process function, but not the process function, which is kind of weird. I don't get it. It just is like that. Okay. So else if is attacking. Um, number of frames. We have the number of frames. Variable for active frame. Should be 0, 1 here. And in the same case, should the frames be named with 0 or 1? Total frames, active frames. Let's go with 0. Go with 0. Add frames. Start with frame 0. So if attacking is false, which most of the time it will be, let's add an elif. Active frame equals number of frames. And just set the booleans here. Just in case we get set it again. Okay, so after the active frame progresses, we also need to call the function here with the frames underneath. So for, sorry, get child get child of the active frame. The frame data manager has frames, and those should have dot is as frame. Ooh, what about the case that it's not a frame? It's someone might do something like that. For child frame get underscore children colon if frame is frame frame, frame dot set frame disabled to true. Okay. Let's check if there's any automatic sets or not. Nope. Tell me already. Okay, so when does it need to be reset? It needs to be reset when we're not attacking. So if it's not attacking, everything should be set to false. Let's make a variable that is an array. Make sure that it's free, and then this needs to equal in this for loop. Okay, so make the value name it frames. Can I put a question mark now? Frames, theoretically. And then for child, if it's frames, frames dot append to do append frame. Okay. This now replaces that loop right there with number of frames equals frames dot count. Yeah. Why does this have a value inside? Returns the number of times an element is in the array. No, that's not what I want. Dot size returns the number of elements in the array. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. But if we're using that, we could just replace. Like when is this used? Control F. There's 3 matches. We can just replace that. Exactly when this is the case. So. But this is only defined here. It will be called again and again. This get children will be called multiple times. Which means this may want to be called outside of here to be called once, which would have to be called on some kind of initialization. Or we could just call it every time here. Like, for some reason, it's just not gonna work on ready, which is the worst part. Func underscore ready, enter, and if I copy all this, paste it here, don't lie to me. Don't freaking lie to me. I hate you. Never mind. Okay. mad by that. Okay, now our logic should be more simple. This should be active frame. And we can make this frame. Okay. Let's double check that this makes sense. We make sure we actually we can just print and see if we get errors. Active frame, I guess, would make the most sense. And then let me just spam add a bunch of frames. 6 names. 10 frames. And run it. But I mean, it looks like it's doing something that looks like counting. And I can't tell if it is a 0. So let's click on it. Auto load. It was all the way to 11. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 0, 0. That, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's the last end frame. We go all the way to 11, which is, which I guess makes sense because there are 11 when you count from 0. Okay, the double 0 is happening because this is set to 0 initially. Then it prints that. Then it goes through this, checking and whatnot. Wait. Active frame, if active frames equals that, this should be first. This should come first. My logic in order the way it actually works. Enter, delete this, remove the space that's breaking it. This needs a condition, which is this. There we go. Okay. So, if we are not attacking, set attack to true because we've decided to attack by calling the function. Then the next thing that should happen is that if the active frames are equal to the size, the frames should be disabled. Active frames equals frames dot size. Active frames dot set frames dot frame active frame dot set disabled is true. Wait, what? So if active frame is the same as the size of the frames. This frame should be set to true. This is the wrong condition. So if the active frame is the same size as the frames, then attacking should end, and the active frame should change that to 0. Okay. Next we've got else active frame frames.active frame set frame disabled to true frame plus equals 1. Okay. What it looks like here is we're going to need a statement to just check if it's 0 and disable the previous one. So if active frame it's not, it's just not equal 0 on okay. Let's go through this statement a little bit first, just like this specific block. So if the frame, let's make this just equal 0, just for experiment purposes mentally. If the active frame is the 0th frame, meaning the very first frame, the frames should have it be disabled. Okay, cool. If the active frame is 0. Okay. If the active frame is not if the active frame is not the very first frame, then the active frame, which -1 would be need to be set to disabled. Then the active frame should be set to enabled, and then the next active frame should come. I think that's fine. Let's keep the print statement, Control S. Do we get an error? No. Frame by frame mode to see. It's 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Is that a bad thing? Probably want it to start on the same frame that the attack has changed. So that does that do it. So if attacking is false, set attacking to true. Active frame is 0. And then do the stuff here. Just run it. F, F. You should get only 1, 0 now. Get 11, which is perfect. Or is it? Is that what we want? So that gets that thing done. The frames can enable and disable themselves. The frame data manager can attack, because it is an attack, so an attack can attack. Then the attack manager should select the attack and call that attack. Okay. Wait, why is, yeah, because it's here, it's not being called except during the editor point. Let me just take a look at some of the other scripts before I close this down. So, debug colors and stuff. And then function behind just the process. The same could be for the hitboxes, frame kind of manager, ready, add new frame and frame clear, ready. Okay, so what doesn't have a ready? This doesn't have a ready. This has a ready because we added one. This has a ready because we added one, I think. Yeah, so frames, what are you doing ready? Set frame disabled. It's true. So is this how we want the function to work? Do we want to get the boxes, then get the shapes? Okay, what we can do is get the boxes, get the shapes, and set them to an array that is collision shapes. So, Control C, Control V, add a var, that's called boxes, shape, box shapes, have it be an array of type collision shape. We're working with rectangles. Can I do that? I don't actually know. Might be a bad thing to do it that way. Collision shape is just directly a child of no 2D, so yeah, it's not gonna work that way. Okay, so um, the dot append and then what we could do here instead is call a specific function called on the boxes shapes. dot call all any assigned value clear count fill filter find front get as is and to map max reduce the size set each index. Yep. Size slice. Okay, let's go back to the top. So pen clear fill filter include only pushback, remove reverse, set, avoid, shuffle, sort, custom. Anyway, ones that are callable only. So all any filter I swear there's a thing that I could do that is just like call each and every function. Or call the same function and everything. This filter? Yeah, if you filter. So filter and it should be set underscore should be set disabled probably. Why do you not have what we want? I just informed this. And I love pipe hinting. Okay. So in the 2D scene, this thing has a thing. So to test this, we want to call this function. So set disabled at some point. Uh, let's go to the frame data manager because that's one level up. And then let's call attack probably. We don't need to return true or false here. Okay. And it crashed. Epic. Why? Frame data manager. Attack. Save. Try running it. That is not working. Ring the active frame. Let's see what is happening. Theoretically, it should be flickering. Well, this is why I was in the game. Other process type. Called process. Okay. If attacking, set disabled, set disabled. Let me go to this and see what this looks like disabled. Yeah, okay. So it's very different. This logic is working, so this should theoretically be working. These might not be. So set frame disabled. It's not printing. It's the function being called. This is being called at all. It is being called. Why is it not changing? This property should be changed with object set deferred. Okay, let's use that instead then. Wait, hold a second. Hold up. We should be calling this print. Have the text func. Frame data manager. I will remove the print true here. It's running twice. Why? This is probably why. Okay, let's print boxes then. Let's see if that actually contains anything. It's no. It's no. What a horrid thing to see. Not a single one. Okay. Which is incorrect because there is one. Maybe because it's a tool script. Maybe why it's not getting the ready function at all. That's ready enough times. Never mind. Okay. What the frick? We're not getting there. We are getting there. We should be getting here. And so, what is the problem with this? Collision shape 2D. Okay. Collision shape 2D. Let's print out shapes then. It's a freaking area. Okay. Why is it an area? Where are we? We are in the frame. Frame gets an area. Frame has children's, it has areas. Oh, it's the same damn call. No wonder. Oh, hey, look, it's actually showing up now. Okay. And it's flashing. Epic. Frame by frame mode. 1, 2, 3. It turned on for 1 press. 11. On for 1. Off for 2. It is the 0th one. So that's kind of fine. Do I want to change the numbers again? God damn it. Change the name. We're gonna change the name. Change the name thing. Alt on save. Press the fix name button. Gosh, all of those things. I'm happy with this. Very happy with this. Okay. Now the only little thing that needs to be done. Inconsistencies. Okay, let's deal with that name stuff when we do the code review. Only the optimization day. Optimization slash documentation day. That could be tons of time. Why did my thing have to shrink? Supposedly there was 2 viewers in the stream today at some point in time. Apparently there's one supposedly watching YouTube too. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna call it there. Just end the stream. I got most of the functionality that I wanted to see updated. So that's refining and getting the things to communicate with each other in their parent and child structure that they are currently forced to be set in uh, by how everything is just added and removed. But,